Okay, welcome back to our new season of Modern Musings. I'm your host, Amber Garvin, and with me today are my co-hosts, Cindy Murray and Kristen Hessler.
Yay!
Hola.
And today we are continuing our Goals Girlfriend segment, and we're going to talk about SMART goals as a goal-setting option. Now, if you haven't read my blog, you're probably wondering, what are SMART goals? And of course, this is always a good reminder when you are setting your goals. SMART is an acronym, for S.M.A.R.T, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. And when you are looking at setting goals for yourself, you really want to be you really want to start off with, you can have long-term goals, but you really want to start off with short-term goals. You want to sit and think to yourself, how am I going to achieve this goal? And that is what SMART is. It is just a way that you can plan out your goal. So, ladies, how do you guys goal set?
Well, first off, for me, it's kind of not a goal unless it is a SMART goal, because it has to be measurable and specific. If you just say that I'm going to be a good person, that's my goal, that's really not the goal. That's the end result of changing a behavior.
Yeah, that's not a goal.
A positive attitude. So you could say, okay, well, you have to break it down backwards. If you see yourself at the finish line of whatever your goal is, you need to break it down backwards into those SMART goal criteria. In order for it to be a legitimate goal, it has to meet those criteria, or it's not going to be an effective goal. It's just a hopes and dreams or a phrase. Like, I'm going to be a better person. That's not a goal.
No. I mean, it's something to work for.
Yes.
But you're also, the way you say it too, is I'm going to be a better person. That means that you're constantly always trying to achieve something that you're not.
Yes, a goal has to have an end result. And
Yes.
and that's part of the specific part of it. And also a goal has to be, you mentioned the R being relevant.
Yes.
I've often heard it also referred to as realistic.
Yeah, reasonable,
so you can't just
realistic.
say, I'm going to go marry Prince William or whatever. That's not a goal.
Yeah,
you can't do that. Well, I mean, I guess you can, but
if you are Meghan Markle, you can measure marry Prince Harry.
Yes. But yeah, you have to keep it realistic, and also the time factor is there. You have to keep it timely. It has to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic or relevant, and timely. And don't think that your goals have to be something like, I'm going to be the president of the United States, or I'm going to get my master's degree in education. A goal can be as small as, I'm going to get more sleep. Now, that's not a SMART goal, obviously.
Enough sleep.
Yes, I'm going to get enough sleep, or I'm going to lose 10 pounds.
I'm going to drink enough water to sustain myself during the day.
So those things, even small things like that, are because goals are a relative thing. They are relative to what is important to you, what is relevant to you. I had a friend who said that she had no goals because she was retired and she didn't want to do anything else except be at home. And I'm like, but don't you have a goal to spend more time with your grandchildren? Don't you have a goal to lose some weight? All of those things are goals. So don't diminish your goals just because you're not aspiring to something that you think is less important than someone else's goals. Yeah. Your goals are not measured against someone else. Your goals are measured based on what you need. And so that's very, very important.
And your goal doesn't have to create some type of monetary or producing an actual item or something like that. I think that's important to think about, is that a lot of people get in their idea that goals are for people who want to be entrepreneurs or trying to
No, anybody
go to
can set
school or
goals.
whatever. Goals can be all kinds of things. Sometimes I have a goal of getting out of bed in the morning.
Like a 10-year-old can set goals. In my blog, I talk about how I teach goal setting to my students, and that is why we're talking about that, because we like to goal set at the beginning of the year, and at the beginning of the new semester, I like to teach my students how to goal set for the rest of the year.
And we were talking in an earlier podcast about using Power Sheets. And Power Sheets is exactly that, is a goal setting system. And it one of the things that it does is teach you how to break down some of those goals into mini goals. It helps you cultivate your best life. And that's, we're getting ready to start our new set of Power Sheets. And so we are all right now looking at what we want to accomplish throughout the year. And a lot of people at this time of year start setting resolutions. And a resolution is just another word for a goal. And that's why a lot of people's resolutions fail at this time of the year, because they're not being smart about their resolutions. And so you can call it whatever you want, but you have to be specific. And in being specific, you don't just say, I want to lose weight. You say, I want to lose this much weight. And by measurable, it needs to be something that you can actually track. So I'm going to get more sleep. How are you going to track that?
Track your
in
sleep.
hours.
I want to interject too, because it really is all about the wording. The specific one is very important, because if you say my goal is I want, then your goal, you are manifesting want. So take the word want out. Once you identified that you want to lose weight, okay, take the word I want out and write lose weight. Okay, how much weight do you want to lose? 10 pounds. How much do you weigh now? Subtract that. Your goal is to weigh X amount.
I will weigh.
No, I will.
I weigh.
Well, exactly.
My goal is to weigh
X amount. And then you go to T, which is at the end. I know it's a little bit backwards. Then you need to know when are you going to weigh X amount. It's really an algebraic formula. If you break it down, it is X plus Y
So for all you
equals
people
D.
who say that you don't do algebra once you're out of high school, yes, you do. It's all the time.
So your when, your T is, okay, I'm going to weigh, or I will weigh.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to weigh, but.
Right. I will weigh 140 pounds, right? By such and such date. Okay, so you're going to say, if you're setting your annual goals, I mean, it's like first of the year, so everybody's thinking, by the end of 2022, I'm going to weigh 140 pounds. That's your T, your time. Give yourself a deadline. Don't use someday or some unending amount. It has to have a deadline.
Now, well, and I will say also, if it has to be realistic and relevant, and the relevancy comes into how important it is to you, because if it's not really important to you, you're not going to achieve it. It has to be important to you. But as Kristen gave the example of losing weight by the end of the year, that gives you a whole year to weigh 140. Well, right. It depends on if it's 10 pounds or whatever. But if you're saying, I'm going to weigh this much at the end of time, break that down into even smaller chunks. Right. And that's where the measurable, achievable part comes in. Absolutely. Because by breaking it down into the smallest possible piece of chunk that you can get.
A bite. How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time. Yes. And so that's where you know, okay, if I have to lose 10 pounds and I've got a year to lose it, I need to lose 1 pound a month. And then you say, what do I do to lose 1 pound a month? what do I do to lose a half a pound a week?
Right. So that's where your goal gets broken down into mini action items. And so when you say, okay, sit down here and let's think about it. What do I need to do? What can I do today, tomorrow, the next day, reoccurring on a monthly basis, whatever, to lose 10 pounds? And then you write them down. Drink more water, sleep, 8 hours, exercise, eat low carb.
Also, I want to interject and say that especially if you have a goal like that, even if you don't meet, like say you say you want to lose 1 pound a month, if you only lose a half a pound, don't give up, just work harder next month.
Right. And that's where if you make it realistic, and achievable, you will give yourself enough cushion to allow for those failures, or they're not failures. They're actually not failures. They might be a setback, but or slower progress. But
Thank you. That is so much better than failure. Failure is not even doing anything
failure's
at all.
Not trying.
Yes. And even
you have to
little progress, small progress is still progress. So, and if you're always putting one step in front of the other, you will keep moving forward. So don't think that it has to be this huge elephant that you have to eat. Start with the tail. It's the littlest part, and take a bite.
So for what Amber is saying, that really is part of the measurable part. So you end up at the end of January and you only lost a half a pound, right? Mm-hmm. You now know that you have a half a pound to add on somewhere else. You then can think, okay, with the thought of measurable, what did I do in January that accumulated to this? What do I need to do in February to accumulate to that? So there's that math thing. It's not always about numbers. I just happen to be using weight because it's very measurable. But if you found where you were tracking on a daily basis that you slept adequately every single day, and you drank water adequately every single day, and you ate decent every single day, but maybe you didn't exercise every day, then you know by measuring your progress throughout the month that that's where you need to add that into the following month so you can beef it up, as to say, like, you need to try harder. It's not necessarily try harder. Don't give yourself that you didn't try hard enough. Sometimes you just need to focus and adapt your goal. And your goal is going to change through the year, especially if you're making a yearly goal like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you're new to goal setting, I would not set something like that a year out. I would start small, baby steps, like I'm going to, I'm getting more sleep. Start timing your sleep and write down every day how many hours that you sleep. Or if you're just wanting to not lose weight, but have better cholesterol, then or count your protein, then write it down every day, what you want to do. I know
tracking is important.
Something I talked about in my blog is that my doctor gave me a goal to lower my cholesterol the last 6 months. And so I have been working really hard at lowering my cholesterol. And I did it. The doctor called me the other day and said, your cholesterol is lower. Congratulations.
Good job. Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
And there's a lot of different ways you can track things too. Don't think that you have to use power sheets to do it. That's just one method that I've used this past year that has helped set me on a new track of goal setting, and I've learned a lot of things from it. But there's a lot of different ways you can track it. There's all kinds of trackers online,
journals.
Apps on your phone.
You can buy journals.
Buy journals. You can do a Google search, weight tracker or sleep tracker or whatever. You can keep a bullet journal, which is often called a bujo. And I'm going to do a few different Bujo bullet journal trackers in my blog. That's what I'm going to do later this week. So you can look at those and see some of the different ways that I track different things. And so that's what that is.
Yeah, you could definitely say that on the idea of SMART goal, the acronym, that each one of those is equally important. Definitely sit down. You're going to need some scratch paper. Use your words, use your feelings, and just start writing them out. If you want to know more about SMART goals, do a Google search and just type out the word SMART goal. There are so many like little infographics and things that explain about the different
You can even
categories.
get worksheets, SMART goal worksheets online now
To help you work through all the steps.
I have actually made one for my students that we use every year that I actually designed, but they're a good website that you can use is mindtools.com, and they actually really go out of their way to explain SMART goals and goal setting. And then you can even read their blog on SMART goals and then ask yourself these questions. How good is your goal setting?
You guys will definitely want to read my husband's experience with SMART goals. I don't want to tell all the details right now because you can read it on my blog post, but I kind of helped him work out a reasonable goal from using the phrasing and changing the way he phrased his goal, which was, I want to be a better cook. And I actually sat down with him one night and we rephrased the wording so that it was SMART, because it was something that was measurable, attainable. He had a timeline set. My husband had never made a goal before in his life, and he was very successful at it. He's not a chef, but he's a really damn good
cook now.
Yeah.
And he went from
makes him
like zero
happy to
cooking
think.
experience.
Yes.
And that's a really awesome results on his part because I've eaten some of his food and it is pretty good food.
Yep. And it goes back to, I have to say all goals are relevant. His was relevant to him, and it wasn't something I guess it was life-changing for him, and it has been
was.
life-changing.
And I don't think he realized how life-changing it was.
But it's a small thing in the same sense. It's not a career goal or a end of life goal or something like that. He just wanted to make a minor adjustment to his life of self-improvement. And I love the fact that goal setting is all about self-improvement, and we're all trying to improve our circumstances and improve our place in this world.
Level up.
Yes. And so don't think that you don't have goals. Don't think that your goals are not important, because all goals are important.
Big or small.
And then don't be afraid of the bigger goals. Just break them down smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's what helps you, because an example that my friend told me the other day was about, I think she got it from another podcaster. I think it's Planning with Lakin is where she got that from, who does power sheets. And she's pretty phenomenal too, if you like to watch power planning kind of things. But one of the examples that she gave, and I am totally giving this as hearsay, was that if you wanted to set a goal, say to run a 3K or 5K or something, you don't start out by going out and running a 5K. So you start your goal out. If you're having a hard time with it, maybe your goal is just to put your tennis shoes on every day, because you know that in order to run that 5K, you're going to have to get up and run every day to get yourself built up to that point. And if you're having a hard time just getting out the door and doing the exercise or whatever, break it down even further. Just put your shoes on every day. And once you're used to putting your shoes on every day, then you've conquered half the battle right there.
Couch to 5K.
Yeah. And then, the next thing that you do is walk out the door.
I think I had mentioned this on one of our other podcasts. It was probably one of the Goals Girls segments. If your goal is to climb Mount Everest, you don't get in your car and drive over there. You need to do the research. And that's a big lofty goal. I think that's what you were saying earlier. That's what you're trying to convey. Your goal doesn't have to be lofty or a fanciful goal. It can be something that seems just plain and simple. Level up in your life.
I can't remember to put on my chapstick all the time, and I'm always biting my lip.
So your goal would be to have healthier lips.
Yeah. And to not chew on my lips. So, then you're going to break down what it's going to take to make you stop chewing on your lips or chewing on your fingernails.
Right. That might take a little bit of research. Some things, some cognitive behavioral
therapy
tips to get you to retrain yourself to
absolutely.
not bite your lips.
Yeah. I just caught myself doing that. That's why.
I used to be a nail biter. And now look at my nails. They are pretty healthy. I know my nail.
Yeah, all our listeners can see your nails really well.
I know. I was saying to you guys, look at my nails, and it was like something changed in my head this year where I was just like, I'm not going to bite my nails anymore. So up until this year, I don't bite my nails anymore, and I'm able to grow out my nails, and I don't have to get fake nails put on anymore because I have nice, beautiful nails that I have been taking really good care of. And I've also made it a goal this year to make my skin look better. But I mean, we could sit here and talk about goals all day. So I want to continue this conversation on our blog. I want you guys to follow us on social media, and I want you guys to tell us what are some goals that you've set this year and what are some goals that you would like to set this year.
I also want to hear any of you guys that have set a goal and it was a total flop. For whatever reason, did you have like this discovery that it wasn't necessary or that it was just a silly goal or irrelevant to you? Mm-hmm. Or maybe you started the goal and realized that wasn't important to you anymore.
Or we're I don't want to use the word failure again because we took that word out of there, but where did it go wrong? What was your barrier to meeting your goal? Because in carrying on this conversation over on the social media platforms, maybe we can help each other through those goals and help you redirect your goal
some
with those SMART
advice.
goals. Yeah, so let's carry on that conversation over on the social media, and let's see if we can help each other to set better goals for ourselves and to make a better world. Yeah.
Also, if you have never even heard or thought about SMART goals and you'd like to try it, please let us know your results on that as well. Okay, so next week we are going to be doing our first book review. Cindy, do you want to talk about that?
I'm so excited. Actually, I had been reading this to Kristen, or telling Kristen all about this. A while back, I had read Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. It was a challenging read for me because I'm not usually a nonfiction or a self-help book reader. I like to read more fluff, I guess is what I'm saying. But it was such a game changer for me, and I kept telling Kristen about it, so she was really excited. She's actually going to be the host of it, but we're going to start out with Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. We're going to read the first 2 chapters and then start a discussion of it next week on the podcast.
So if you want to discuss with us, it gives you some time to check out the first 2 chapters of the book.
Yeah, absolutely. Go out there and get that book if you haven't already.
Apparently this book is not available on Kindle Unlimited, but you can download it on your e-reader or check it out from your local library. We have an Amazon affiliate link for you on our blog, and you can check that out there. And
we'd really like it if you'd like to read this book along with us. We will be discussing the first 2 chapters.
And we'll carry this one on throughout the year with little additions to some of our podcasts here and there, or in between podcasts to cover this book.
That's all for this episode. Please, we'd like to offer special thanks to Red Door Studios, Creative Audio Tech Mark Murray, and Rimshot Graphics for our music, gear, and graphics. And we will see you, not see you, but hear, listen to you. You'll hear us next week on our podcast. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.